Hello, I'm your superhero critic, and I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome, and it's time to look at Power Rangers spin-offs. Released in September of '96, Big Bad Beetleborgs was about 3 kids being dared into a haunted mansion.
Haunted mansion? What? Who said something about the haunted mansion? Are we doing the haunted mansion? Are you doing the haunted mansion without me?
No, Faye. Not the haunted mansion. A haunted mansion.
Why aren't you reviewing the Haunted Mansion comics?
There's Haunted Mansion comics?
Yes.
Save it for Halloween.
Fine. Made me up all excited, not even the Haunted Mansion.
Anyway, while in the mansion, the kids meet a group of universally themed monsters and during the scares, accidentally release a phasm from an organ. This phasm grants their wish to become superheroes, but also releases the villains of the show. This show is just like Power Rangers, where Saban would borrow Japanese footage from Yuko B Fighter for Season 1 and B Fighter Kabuto for Season 2. So let's take a look at the first 2 episodes of Big Bad Beetleborgs. We begin on a stormy night as the show's 2 rich kids, Van and Trip, are running out of the mansion scared of the monsters living in it. Before we go to the next day where our unexpected future heroes go to Nano's comic shop to get the new issue of the Beetleborg comic. Joe then teases her brother about his crush on Heather.
Drew and Heather sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Aw, young love, so precious. Nano shows up on her motorcycle as we go inside where Drew is nervous around Heather to the point he begins to daydream about being the blue Beetleborg in order to impress her. We get this small footage fight of the Blue Beetleborgs saving a princess before Van and Trip come in to show off how much obnoxious they are. Oh god, it's a bunch of Damian Waynes! The rich snobs then begin mocking Drew for reading Beetleborgs and brag about going into the mansion, and to prove that they are not scared, Drew volunteers himself to stay a night at the mansion. So the 5 of them head to the mansion before night falls. The kids begin the tour of the building as we start a tour, and the monsters walk behind them out of sight until Joe meets the mummy face to face, of course scaring her. Joe runs screaming away from the mummy, forcing the kids to hide, also showing Frankenbean, the Frankenstein parody, as he scares Trip and Van. A spider decides to be friendly with Roland, giving away their hiding spot as they find a secret panel to get away. The kids then make their way down the hall as Drew finds a spinning bookcase.
Wow. Let's do that again.
While Van and Trip find the Dracula parody, the trio find a room with an organ that Joe accidentally presses keys on, releasing our show's version of Zordon, a phantasm by the name of Flabber, who is essentially a poor man's version of Genie from Aladdin, as he jokes around and uses different accents. The kids then learn that Flabber will give them one single wish for setting him free from the organ. The kids all think it's a dream and throw out the wild idea of becoming the Beetleborgs in the real world, ending episode 1 with a bad joke of Flabber turning the kids into bugs. Be careful what you wish for. Flabber, of course, turns the kids back and after a huge spectacle gives the kids their wish as they are in awe of their new powers and weapons. The monsters come into the room so the kids defend themselves with their new powers, with a bunch of slapstick comedy fighting. Once they are done though, something with the comic happens as the villains of the show escape the book. Our villain trio summons ships out of the comics to attack the city. Flabber flubs as he explains what he accidentally did as the villains enjoy walking around the city, torturing random people, and causing a nuisance, including going to the movie theater and enjoying Nosferatu. Hey, down in front! Flabber is down on himself as they try to figure out what is next as the villain trio go to the rendezvous point to meet Vexor, who of course has plans to conquer the world but wants to destroy the Beetleborgs first. The kids let Flabber know they have to do something to stop Vexor, and they figure out how to summon their Beetle Bonders and morph for the first time. The Stooges then attack the mansion, and we get more comedic fighting with sound effects and 60s Batman-style word popping. They soon retreat and realize they could take other monsters from the comics for future attacks. The kids then realize they weren't dreaming at all, and Flabber reminds them that they need to get the villains back into the comics. They also then learn that they now have extra powers, as Drew has telekinesis, Joe now has super strength, and Roland now has super speed. The episode then ends with Trip and Van being their creepy little selves, and Drew gives them their just desserts in the form of a water bucket. The show would last a total of 88 episodes, lasting 2 seasons, becoming Beetleborg Metallics for the second season. Episodes of the series would be released as 3 separate mini-films, and despite high ratings, the show would still get cancelled due to the lack of footage left available from the Japanese shows. The show, of course, would reach a lot of merch that would actually be promoted within the show itself, in which I still have my gold Beetleborg figure from my childhood. Acclaim Comics would also release a team-up comic with the Power Rangers Turbo, and it wasn't really that good of a comic. So that is Big Bad Beetleborgs. Personally, I loved this show growing up, and as cheesy as it was still entertaining. It's not the worst of the Power Ranger knockoffs, but it's certainly not the best of them. That being said, I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. So you're telling me that you are some sort of time traveler who has a bounty hunter after you, and not this timeline, but a different timeline, and that our paths continue to cross. What?
You got the gist of it, pretty much exactly. Yeah, sorry about attacking you, by the way. Kind of a defense mechanism. The first time we met in my past and your future, I kind of almost got you killed. Sorry about that. So you...
Then why the fuck would I help you?
Because I've got a bounty on my head, and I think you can help, because I really don't deserve this bounty. The guy had it coming.
Then how do you even have a bounty?
Okay, so there was this guy, you know, white hair, megalomaniac, completely self-absorbed, you know the type. And,
What'd you do?
So I worked with him for a while. We were both inventors. He claimed to be an inventor. Like a thief is what he was. He promised to pay me for my ideas, you know, how business works. I went to him for payment. He said, well, he laughed in my face and told me I didn't understand American humor and he wasn't going to pay me. So I told him he didn't understand European humor, and I poisoned him.
Remind me to never drink after you.
Don't steal from me and we won't have that problem.
Duly noted. That being said, I really should make that a shirt.
No, it's not going to work out that well.
Anyway, I think I can help.
Thank you.